You would think I would not be able to find much wrong with a film with such amazing talent in it. You'd be wrong, because I am Berryman, and this is 10 Things Wrong With. Gunpowder Milkshake is a 2021 action film. The film tells the story of a young hitwoman who must team up with her estranged mother and her former colleagues in order to save a young girl from rival assassins. And when the film was released, it's generally got mixed to average reviews. But what have I, the nitpicking YouTuber, found wrong with it? Well, let's discuss 10 things wrong with Gunpowder Milkshake. Number 10, release. This film has such a messy release. Now, it's marketed as a Netflix film, but it's not. It was only released in Netflix in America, Canada. That was it. Over here in Europe, each country seems to have different release people. France, it was released by StudioCanal, which is fine, they're a big company. In the UK, it was released by Sky, who are a TV provider. But yeah, it is confusing, but it's not just how the film was released, it was when it was released. It was actually split over a course of 3 months. It was released in one country in July, another country in August, and over here it was September, and then somewhere else it was December. The release of this film was just all over this place. It was like nobody knew what to do with this film or how to release it. Number 9, no real story. And I'm actually being serious. Now, I know I gave a brief plot synopsis at the beginning of this video, but that's the official plot synopsis. In reality, it's not really about that. There's so many different little stories where they don't really pay off. It's like, right, we'll have a bit of this story and a bit of this story and a bit of this story and a bit of this story, and we'll stick it together and that's it. Cut some of these story elements out and actually develop some of them, and you'll have a bit of an engaging story. But the story that they used, it was not really engaging, and it was like all over the place, and it made it hard to follow what was actually going on. Number 8, movie style. Now, following on from the last one, that the story was all over the place, it also does affect the style of the film. Now, officially, this is classed as an action thriller film. But if you watch the trailer, it comes across as a bit of a comedy, which it wasn't. It tried to be funny, and it failed flat on its face. It was like they changed things in the trailer to make it funny, but in the film, the comedy didn't quite work. Thriller? There wasn't really much thriller. Now, there was action. That wasn't actually that good, and I'll come on to the action a bit later. But what else could this film style have? I mean, a mother-daughter dynamic? Well, not really. It was there, but it wasn't the grit of the film. Could have been like a buddy cop film with the main actress and the young child. Well, not really. It was just same again. There's so many different styles. We're going to do a bit this style and a bit this style, that you've stuck it all in to make this mess. And that's being nice. Number 7, slow-mo. I get the feeling that when they wrote the script and filmed it, they realised this film was way too short because the amount of slow-mo. And it wasn't a case of, we're going to do slow-mo on massive shots. It was that we're going to slow-mo every single action scene. It's way too much slow-mo. It slows the action down, it slows the pacing of this film down, and it makes it, same again, harder to watch this film when everything is deliberately slow. Number 6, subpar action. And as a result of the previous entry, yes, you get these really not very good subpar action sequences. Now, this is the thing with this film. You've got some talented actresses who are brilliant at action sequences. Lena Headey is good at action sequences. Karen Gillan as Nebula in the MCU. Yeoh, she's fantastic. She is an action hero star. Brilliant. And yet, you've got all of this, and you don't use these actresses' strengths to their advantages. It looks like this is amateurish. Seriously, you've slowed the action so far down, you can't get into it. And the actual choreography is looks choreographed, and it doesn't look that moving. I mean, a bowling ball rolling at a slow speed that caused damage? Come on. This film is just so much wrong with this film. Number 5, acting. On this section, I'm slightly a little bit scared for my life because I do believe these actresses, as I've said, they're brilliant action actresses and they're brilliant actresses. And I'm pretty sure that each and every one of them on their own could whoop my ass. But it's got to be said that the acting in this film was very wooden, which is quite surprising. You've got, as I said, and I will maintain this, you've got some amazing talent that's not being utilised. Karen Gillan seems to have the same expression on her face the whole way through. Lena Headey just smirks her whole way through. Angela Bassett is just shouty at everyone. And Yeoh is not her usual self. She has this warped cunningness to her. And yeah, she just sits there and smiles all the time. It's not the best acting from any of these. And most of them are Oscar-winning or Oscar-nominated or should be actresses. But yeah, their acting was not very good. Number 4, mother-daughter. So one of the main themes of this film, which is hard to actually get out of this film, is a mother-daughter relationship. You've got Lena and Karen's mother and daughter, you've got Karen and the young actress as well, trying to perform a mother-daughter relationship. Theirs sort of worked, but Karen and Lena's didn't really work, and which is a shame. Oh, I had to go because I was forced to, but I always stuck around to keep an eye on you. There was no real payoff. There was no drama, no emotion to any of their relationship. And same again. If that's going to be the main focus, you should have some emotion to that, but I didn't feel it at all. And I am actually kind of disappointed. Number 3, jacket. So in the trailer, in the advertising, and in this film, they make a big deal of the jacket that Karen Gillan actually wears throughout this film, which they shouldn't have done. It was just a bowling jacket that she stole from a bowling alley. It's not iconic. It's not like the yellow suit from Kill Bill. Same again, they didn't make a big deal of her getting the uniform. They just put it on, and it's developed organically. You have tried to force this iconic image, and it's forced with as much emphasis of trying to force Lego and Play-Doh together. It can go together, but it doesn't really work. Number 2, paper explosion. So one of the scenes that's in this film, there's an explosion, money gets blown up, and granted it's paper bonds, and it looks like folded napkins. I think that's the best way I can describe it, because it just didn't look good. I mean, the special effects in this film weren't actually that great anyway, but it was, it's an explosion. I mean, there was an arm flying off and then just bits of paper not on fire, it didn't, the explosion didn't work. Anti-Climatic Final. So the big final fight? Not really. It was a case of the good guys literally just wiping the floor in a slow-mo as the camera pans across. That was it. It wasn't that good. I found it very subpar, and do you know what? I didn't care if the good guys won or lost. That's how much this film sucked. There was no real build-up to this final fight, and when it happened, you slowed it down again. You put all these stupid slow-mo special effects in that looked fake as hell, and yeah, this film was just so anticlimactic. There was no real payoff to any of this film. Final thoughts. So, yeah, you might guess that I'm not really that big of a fan of this film. It was slow, it was dull, it didn't really engage, it didn't really do anything. It didn't even showcase how brilliant these actresses are. And they are brilliant actresses, each and every one of them. But this film actually made them look like amateurs, not professionals like they are. The soundtrack was absolutely appalling. It was like you got some royalty-free music and just stuck it on. That's something like us YouTubers, low-level YouTubers would do. And I could probably do a better job. The music didn't match. It was just slow, it was boring, it wasn't engaging. The special effects just looked OTT and not really good. I did not like this film at all. And it's a shame because part of me was kind of looking forward to it. When the film first got announced, I was looking forward to it because I'm a fan of Karen Gillan ever since she's been in Doctor Who. But yeah, this wasn't her strongest moment. And what makes it worse is they're making a bloody sequel. I might avoid that film. So what am I going to rank this film out of 10? Well, I've been really horrible and I'm not going to stop. 3. 3 out of 10 berries. If you want a film to waste 2 hours of your life, go and watch this. But don't come to me crying when you're bored to tears. It's just really bad, really, really bad. But that's what I think of this film, and yes, I'm probably being a bit harsh to this film, but what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. On to next week, we're going to go back to what I'm happiest doing, and that's science fiction. We are going to do the granddaddy of sci-fi. That is a clue. It's also episode 99, so it's actually gearing up to the 100th episode as well, and I've already announced what that is. But other than that, I look forward to seeing you then. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.